Welcome students again into the 11 Science Chemistry class. We are learning the chapter number 11, adsorption and colloids. Now adsorption process we already learned how there is the accumulation or concentration of one substance on the surface of the another substance, and adsorption is the surface phenomenon. Now there are some chemical substances which inhibits the rate of the reaction or decreases the rate of the reaction, due to which the reaction retards or cannot occur. Such chemical substances are called as the inhibitors. Now let us learn the definition of the inhibitors. What is meant by inhibitors? Inhibitors are the substances which decreases the rate of the chemical reaction. The rate of the chemical reaction decreases due to these chemical substances, and that are called as the inhibitors. For example, there is a reaction, we know that reaction when chloroform is exposed in the air and sunlight, there is formation of the very poisonous gas phosgene. Chemically it is called as the carbonyl chloride, and that phosgene when inhaled by the living organisms, they they have the unconsciousness. That is, this chloroform is applied as the or used as the anesthetic to create the unconsciousness in the living organism. But this phosgene gas is formed when there is the air oxidation or there is the reaction of this chloroform. There is the reaction of this chloroform with the air, oxygen and light. There is formation of the phosgene gas, and that gas is called as the carbonyl chloride, which is very poisonous, and when it is inhaled by the living organisms, sometimes they have the death also. And this, to avoid this, chloroforms are always stored into the amber colored bottle with the tight cork or very fit cork, due to which there is the no any contact of oxygen with that of the chloroform. But if we add 2% of the ethyl alcohol into that chloroform, it cannot react with the air oxygen, and there is no formation of the phosgene gas. Now this 2% ethyl alcohol acts as the inhibitor because it retards the reaction. It decreases the rate of the reaction, and there is no formation of phosgene or poisonous gas carbonyl chloride. So 2% ethyl alcohol acts as the inhibitor in this reaction. Now let us learn. For example, chloroform CHCl3. This is the formula of the chloroform. It is always found into the liquid form. Now this chloroform was once used as anesthetic. It forms poisonous substance carbonyl chloride COCl2 gas by air oxidation. So this reaction occurs 4CHCl3 plus thrice O2 gas gives 4COCl2 gas, carbonyl chloride, that is the phosgene, which is the poisonous gas, water molecule and chlorine gas. This reaction occurs. But when 2% ethanol is added to the chloroform, the formation of carbonyl chloride COCl2 is suppressed, that is stopped. Hence, ethanol acts as the inhibitor and it retards this reaction. Now, such substances which retard the reaction are called as the inhibitors. So, 2% ethyl alcohol is inhibitor for this reaction of formation of the carbonyl chloride, from chloroform and air oxygen. Now, second example we can give for the inhibitor is hydrogen peroxide H2O2. When decomposed, it gives the oxygen and water. We know that. Now, this is the hydrogen peroxide H2O2. Twice H2O2 liquid gives twice H2O gas or water plus oxygen gas. Now, we know that after the decomposition of the hydrogen peroxide, there is formation of water vapor and oxygen. Now, this reaction can be inhibited by using, or this reaction can be inhibited by addition of dilute acid or glycerol into that hydrogen peroxide, due to which there is the no decomposition of hydrogen peroxide and there is no formation of the water and oxygen. So, glycerol or dilute acid acts as the inhibitor into that reaction. Now, this is about the inhibitors. Now, let us learn the adsorption theory of heterogeneous catalysis. We know there are the two types of catalysis, homogeneous catalysis and heterogeneous catalysis. We already learned in the last lecture. Now, in homogeneous catalysis, both reactants as well as that of the catalyst are always into the same phase. But in this, that is the heterogeneous catalysis, the reactants and the catalyst are in the different phases, and always the catalyst is in the solid phase and reactants may be gases or the liquid substances. Now, how these heterogeneous catalysis actually occur? And we know that in the heterogeneous catalysis, the catalyst always acts as the good adsorbents. That means there is the reaction on the surface of the catalyst. So, heterogeneous catalysis occur on the surface of the catalyst. Now, this mechanism of heterogeneous catalysis involves 5 main steps. Now, the first one is the diffusion of reactants toward the surface of the catalyst. When the reaction starts, the reactant diffuses on the surface of the catalyst, due to which what happened? The reactants adsorb on the surface of the catalyst and there is the maximum concentration of that reactant occur on the surface of the catalyst. So, the first step is the diffusion of the reactants, they may be gases or liquids, on the surface of the catalyst. For example, diffusion of any gas such as hydrogen, nitrogen on the surface of the charcoal. In this way, first step is the diffusion of the reactants on the surface of the catalyst. Now, in the second step, what happened? Adsorption of reactant molecules on the surface of the catalyst. Due to diffusion, there is the second step, that is the adsorption of the reactant molecules on the surface of the catalyst. What is the third step in this mechanism of heterogeneous catalysis? Third step is occurrence of chemical reaction. Then what happened? On that surface of the catalyst, there is the occurrence or there is the reaction occur on the surface of the catalyst and there is the formation of intermediate. When the reactant adsorb on the surface of the catalyst, there is the starting of the reaction or reaction occur on the surface of the catalyst and there is the formation of the intermediate first. Now that intermediates again give the reactants into the next step. Now in the next step what happened? Intermediate gives products into the next step. So the next step is the formation of products. The intermediate again get decomposed and there is the formation of product and the surface of that catalyst gets again dissolves. Now in the next step, what happened in the fifth step? There is the desorption of reaction products. That means that product form get dissorbs. That means there is the removal of the product from the surface of that catalyst. We know the definition of desorption. The process of removal of the adsorbed substance from the surface of the catalyst on which it get adsorbed is called as the desorption. So after formation of product, into the last step, fifth step, what happened? There is the desorption of reaction products from the catalyst surface and product leave the catalyst surface. So there is these 5 steps are always occur into the heterogeneous catalysis. Which are that 5 steps? There is formation. First there is the diffusion of the reactant gas or liquids on the surface of the catalyst. Then in the second step there is the adsorption of that reactant gases. In the third step there is the intermediate formation. In the fourth step there is the product formation, and in the fifth step there is the desorption of the products. Now this is about the heterogeneous catalysis. Now let us learn the important features of solid catalyst. Which are the important features or characteristic of solid catalyst? Let us learn. Now pay attention on the blackboard, students. We are learning now the important features of solid catalyst. How the solid catalyst acts during the heterogeneous catalysis or during the chemical reaction in which catalyst play its role. Now the first important feature of this solid catalyst is that it is catalytic activity. Catalytic activity. How the catalyst is active or inactive towards the adsorbed gases. How can we can speak about this or justify about this, the catalytic activity of that catalyst? Now this is always in case of the chemisorption or chemical adsorption. Now what happened? The activity of the catalyst depends on the strength of the chemisorption. How the adsorbate gas or liquid form a bond with that of the solid surface of the catalyst. Is the bond is strong or weak? That determines the catalytic activity of that catalyst. If the large number of the reactant molecules are strongly adsorbed on the surface of the solid catalyst, then we can say that the catalyst is said to be active. If large number of the reactant molecules form a strong bond or strongly adsorb on the surface of the catalyst, then we can say that catalyst is active. But if the bond formed between the adsorbate gas or liquid and the adsorbent, that is the solid catalyst, is not very strong, so that they are not immobilized, that means there is not formation of the strong bond between the adsorbate and adsorbent, then they are not immobilized. That means the catalyst is inactive for that catalysis. Now this is about the catalytic activity, the first feature of the catalyst. Now the second feature, yes, what is the example of this? Now let us learn. It has been found that the d block metals such as ferrous, that is iron, vanadium and chromium tend to be strongly active towards which gases? These catalysts, that is the vanadium, iron and chromium, are strongly active towards oxygen, acetylene, C2H2, acetylene, carbon monoxide, again ethene, hydrogen, carbon dioxide and nitrogen. For these gases, these iron, vanadium and chromium catalysts are active, tends to be active. strongly active. That means there is the strong bond formation of these catalyst with that of these gases on their surface. Oxygen, acetylene, carbon monoxide, ethyl, hydrogen, carbon dioxide and nitrogen. But manganese and copper are unable to adsorb the nitrogen and carbon dioxide. That means they are inactive. These manganese and copper are inactive. That is, they do not form the strong bond, or these gases, nitrogen and carbon dioxide, not strongly adsorb on the surface of the manganese and copper. Again, the metals, that is the active metals, magnesium and lithium, also selectively adsorb the oxygen gas strongly. That means they are active towards the oxygen gas. Which metal? Magnesium and lithium. Now this is about the catalytic activity. That is the first feature of the solid catalyst. Now the next feature, important feature of the solid catalyst is the catalytic selectivity. That means the gases which are adsorbed on the different catalyst, the same gases if adsorbed on the different catalyst, they form the different products. That is the catalytic selectivity. Now, some solid catalysts are selective in their action. For example, same gaseous reactants can produce different products when different catalysts are used for their adsorption. Same gaseous reactants can produce the different gases when they adsorb on the different catalyst. For example, this ethylene and oxygen reacts differently when they adsorb on the different catalyst. For example, this ethene and oxygen, C2H4 ethene gas and oxygen gas produce acetaldehyde, that is the aldehyde, when this palladium catalyst is used with that of the alumina, that is the aluminum oxide. But the same gases, that is the ethene and the oxygen, when reacts on the surface of the silver and alumina, then there is the formation of ethylene oxide, C2H4O gas. That means different products are obtained if we use the different catalyst. Now this is about the catalytic selectivity. Another example we can give for the catalytic selectivity is that carbon monoxide and hydrogen gas also form the different products if the different catalysts are used. When nickel is used for the adsorption of that of the carbon monoxide and hydrogen, there is formation of the methane and water molecule, that is the water vapor. But if carbon monoxide and hydrogen reacts together on the surface of that of the copper, zinc oxide and chromium oxide, then there is the formation of the methyl alcohol. That means in the first reaction there is the formation of methane when carbon monoxide and hydrogen reacts, but when nickel is the catalyst. But when carbon monoxide and hydrogen reacts, when that of the copper is the catalyst, there is the formation of the methanol. Now in this way, this is the second feature of the solid catalyst. Now let us learn the third feature, that is the shape of selective catalyst by zeolite. How the third feature is there, let us learn. Now let us see the third important feature of this solid catalyst, and that is the shape selective catalysis by zeolites. That means zeolites always adsorb on their surface the such adsorbate or the molecules which have the shape which can adsorb on the pores of that zeolites. Now what are these zeolites? Zeolites are the solid substances, that is the stones of silica. Silica, that is the silicon oxide. That is the rocky material, that is the sandy material. But the silicon atoms sometimes get replaced by the aluminum atoms, and that such type of the silica with that of the aluminum atoms is called as the zeolites. So zeolites are nothing but they are the aluminosilicates. Aluminosilicate means they are the silica, that is the rocky material or stones, that is silicon oxide, but with that of the aluminum. So zeolites are aluminosilicates with three-dimensional network of silicates. In zeolites, there is the three-dimensional network of the silicates is there, that is aluminum silicates. These are the zeolites. They are whitish in color due to the aluminum metal. Some silicon atom in this three-dimensional network are replaced by the aluminum atoms, giving AlOSi bond, aluminum oxygen silicon bond. These are called as the aluminum silicates. The framework, that is the network of aluminum oxygen and silicon, is called as the aluminum silicate, and aluminum silicates, aluminosilicates are nothing but they are the zeolites. Zeolites can adsorb on their surface the different gases, and they act as the catalyst. Zeolites also, they are the solid catalyst because they have the porous nature due to this AlOSi network or framework, three-dimensional framework. So some silicon atom in this network are replaced by the aluminum atom, giving AlOSi framework. This results in the microporous structure. Due to that, I already tell you, there is the microporous structure is formed on that of the zeolites, surface of the zeolites. So the reaction in zeolites are dependent on the size and shape of the reactants and or products. So the reaction which are occur on the surface of the zeolites, these reactions in zeolites are dependent on size and shape of the reactant molecules or reactant or product molecules. And also the reaction also depends on the pores and cavities of the zeolites, size of the pores and cavities of the zeolite. So zeolites are called as the shape selective catalyst. That means they act as the shape selective catalyst of the reactant molecules and product molecules. How their pores are on the surface of the zeolites and cavities, that depends the reaction rate or adsorption of the reactant molecules. Now, for example, in petroleum industry, zeolites are used. For this zeolite catalyst, ZSMS, it is called as the zeolite silica MS catalyst. Now, in petroleum industry, zeolite catalyst, that is the ZSMS, converts these zeolite catalysts are shortly called as the ZSMS in petroleum industry. And these catalysts, that is the zeolites, converts alcohol directly into the gasoline, that is the petrol. In the petroleum industry, petrol is directly formed from the alcohol on the surface of the zeolites, that is ZSMS, which convert directly the alcohol into the petrol or gasoline by the dehydration process, which also gives a mixture of hydrocarbons, that is the petrol and mixture of hydrocarbons are obtained from that of the alcohol on the surface of the zeolite when the reaction is occur, that is the dehydration. Now this is about the important features of the solid catalyst. Now up to this we are learning only the adsorption process. Now colloids start from the next lecture. Tomorrow we will learn about the colloids. Now if student you understand very easily and very simply this adsorption, about the adsorption, then you can like, subscribe and share these all videos to the another students and tell them also to subscribe and like, because this is very important in the future examination, your future examination in entrance examination such as JEE, CET and NET, and also into the next, that is the in next education, that is the graduation, post graduation in any, that is the engineering, pharmacy or medical science. Now this is about only the adsorption process. We learn the colloid process also. So always you learn very interestingly, and also remember that you have to write the these, about all these 11 science questions also into the entrance examination. So best of luck for your study.